Welcome to MATLAB. Today, you're on your journey to discover when two quantities vary directly or inversely with each other. Let us consider the following situation. Suppose any car on this highway has to travel at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. The distance travelled in kilometer and the time taken in hours has been provided in a tabular form. By shading as many whole rectangles to indicate the distance travelled and the corresponding rectangles to indicate the time taken, so that the speed of any car is exactly 50 kilometers per hour. So suppose if I shade the distance travelled as 50 kilometers, then the time taken should be 1 hour. So that my speed, that is distance travelled by time taken, remains 50 kilometers per hour. If the distance travelled is taken to be 100 kilometers, then in order to have a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, the car should have travelled for 2 hours. Proceed in this fashion to find a number of ways in which, by changing distance, the time changes, so that the speed of the car is always 50 kilometers per hour. Note your observations in increasing or decreasing order of distance travelled. What do you observe? Is distance by time or speed always constant? When distance increases, doesn't time also increase? Can we say that distance varies directly with time? When two quantities x and y are in direct variation, that is, x is directly proportional to y. So we can say x is equal to some constant times y if we remove the proportional sign. That is, x upon y is equal to constant, where k is the constant. Now observe the numerator x and the denominator y. When x increases, y has to increase in order to keep k constant. Similarly, when x decreases, y has to decrease in order to keep k constant. Let us now consider the following situation. You are provided with checkered paper. If you look carefully at this paper, there are a number of small squares. For our convenience, we will assume the side of each square to be 1 unit. Hence, the area of each square is equal to 1 square unit. By using this checkered paper now, form as many rectangles as you can, such that the area of each rectangle is equal to 8 square units. Remember, area of a rectangle is equal to length into breadth. Suppose the length is equal to 8 and the breadth is equal to 1, then we know the area is equal to 8 square units. Similarly, if the length is equal to 4 and the breadth is equal to 2, then also the area is equal to 8 square units. Have you observed the length has decreased, the breadth has increased? Now let us try again. If the length is equal to 2 and the breadth is equal to 4, again the area is equal to 8. If the length is equal to 1 and the breadth is equal to 8, again the area is equal to 8 square units. Remember, the length of a rectangle is usually equal to or greater than its breadth. However, for visualization of inverse variation, we will permit the length to be less than its breadth. Note your observations in increasing or decreasing order of length. What do you observe? When length increases, doesn't breadth decrease? Or when length decreases, then breadth increases? Can we say that length is inversely proportional to the breadth? When two quantities x and y vary inversely, we say x is proportional to 1 by y. That is, x is equal to k by y, where k is a constant, or x into y is equal to constant. Now observe the left hand side of the equation. If x increases, then y has to decrease in order to maintain k a constant. Similarly, if x decreases, then y has to increase in order to maintain k a constant. Suppose in a model of a ship, the mast is 9 centimeters high, while the mast of the actual ship is 12 meters. If the length of the ship is 28 meters, how long is the model of the ship? So now let us note the information of this problem. The length of the model is 9 centimeters. The actual length is 12 meters. We need to find the length of the model when the actual length is 28 meters. Now, we know that when the length of the model increases, the actual length also increases. Therefore, this is direct variation. In direct variation, you will observe this x mark. So, we can say that 9 into 28 is equal to 12x, or x is equal to 9 into 28 by 12, which is nothing but 21 meters. 21 centimeters. Now, let us consider, a factory requires 42 machines to produce a given number of articles in 63 days. How many machines would require to produce the same number of articles in 54 days? So, let us note our information. 42 machines produce in 63 days. X machines produce in 54 days. Observe, if the number of machines increase, then the number of days will decrease. So, our mind map is like a cup. We can say that 42 by x is equal to 54 by 63. Observe the pattern for inverse variation. So, x is equal to 42 into 63 by 54. That is nothing but 49 machines. Have fun discovering direct and inverse variation.